Hey guys, Happy New Year! Today I want to talk about barre chords. This is a skill that is very challenging for many people. It's one of the first blockages that you encounter in your journey towards freedom and expression with the guitar. So first of all, I want you guys to know this is super common. Almost everybody gets a little bit stuck there on this barrier of the barre chords. But the good news is that it's quite simple once you know what you need to do in order to break through this barrier and make the barre chords easy. They become easy to you. And this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. So I want to explain it in the following way. We're going to start by a little test of your guitar to make sure that the problem is not with the actual guitar, because that can also be a big cause for misunderstanding and frustration if your guitar is making it harder to master the technique. It's not actually that you're doing anything wrong. Secondly, I want to explain what actually needs to happen in the level of the fingers in order for you to play barre chords easily. And lastly, I'll give you an idea of how to actually implement it and sort of like a safe-proof way to master barre chords in a period which is between 1 to 2 months. Okay? We start with the guitar. Okay, so some guitars, let's start with this. Okay, nylon strings, easier than steel strings. Alright, so if you're beginning, it's better to work with a nylon strings guitar, a Spanish or a classical guitar, not an acoustic or steel strings guitar. And then the second thing you want to check with your guitar is that the strings, that the tension of the strings is not too high. Okay, some guitars, especially very old guitars or very cheap guitars, have their strings in a very high action, so they are very far from the fretboard, and then you need to put extra tension in order to press the strings against the fretboard, which makes it way harder to master the barre technique. So how do you check it? The easiest way to check it is simply to go to any guitar store and just try one or two, like medium priced guitars. So anything above $200 would be like a proper guitar with a proper setup, probably. So you can try it, and if you feel that it's significantly easier than with your own guitar, then you might want to consider changing your guitar. Once we clear that out of the way, let's talk about what needs to happen so that the barre chords will become easy. One thing, the skin of the index finger needs to grow thicker. Okay, what happens at first when you try to barre? It kind of hurts in the skin, and you have like these train rails on your skin, and it hurts, and it's normal. And that's how it is. But when you give your fingers and your brain a consistent message, that's what I want to be doing. The body is intelligent. It will grow thicker skin. And once the thicker skin has grew, you will simply not feel the pain. The skin is thicker, so it doesn't hurt anymore. That's one. Secondly, we have this muscle between the thumb and the index finger. This is kind of like the squeezing muscle. This is the muscle that gets activated when you try to barre. Okay, so you see, you can feel it here. It gets kind of contracted. So this muscle needs to wake up, get a little bit stronger, and most importantly, you become sensitive to find the sweet spot. Okay, because the thing is, if you squeeze too hard, then you will get tired, like the muscle will get fatigued, and it will not last. But if you don't press enough because the muscle is weak, or because you don't have the control yet, then you will get this sound. So you will not have a clean barre sound. So the muscle needs to get stronger, and you need to kind of fine-tune your control over this muscle. So these are the two things that need to happen in order to play barre chords cleanly. And there's a very simple way to make sure that this will happen. The key here is consistency. So I always recommend taking a period of 30 days or 60 days if you really want to be sure. I haven't met a single person who didn't make it in 60 days. For most people it will work in 30 days or less, but if you want to be sure, take a period of 60 days, make a commitment to practice 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day, it's all it's needed. You don't need a lot of time, but the consistency needs to be every day, so that the body simply gets what you're asking for. Okay? And the practice itself, super simple. You start with borrowing 2 strings. If that's easy and you got a clean sound, move to 3 strings. Then you need a little bit more force. If it's easy, move to 4 strings. Basically, search for your threshold, what is difficult for you, and then work from there. Let's say even doing 2 strings is still challenging for you. You simply want to do that for this amount of time. So 5 minutes a day, you push the strings. If it sounds like this, then you need to play a little bit with the location of the finger. It needs to be close to the fret, so to the right, not on the fret, but as close to the fret as possible. We want to be pushing with the side of the finger, so not the front, the side, okay, sideways. Yeah, you can see it. You will have like these train rails on your index finger. The finger needs to support you from the back of the neck, so you feel the squeeze here in this muscle. Yeah. And then after doing these corrections, once you manage to get like a clean sound from 2 strings, you simply try to hold it. Try 10 seconds, for example, to keep the squeeze that allows you to generate a clean sound. That's the practice. So you do it, and then you will probably feel a little bit fatigue here. Shake your wrist. Repeat. That's everything. Do it for 5 minutes with a few breaks in the middle to shake the wrist and let go. And every time that, after a few days, maybe doing 2 strings becomes already easy, move to 3 strings. Same process. And this way you build up gradually both the roughness of the skin that needs to regrow, and also the engagement, the activation of this muscle, and your sense of control in it. When you get a little bit more advanced, then the thing with the squeezing muscle will become more about finding the sweet spot. So at first it's just like squeeze as hard as you can, but then at some point you will actually try to find, to relax it a tiny bit, to find the sweet spot, which is like the least amount of squeezing pressure that is needed to generate a clean sound, if that makes sense. So these are all of my secrets about the barre technique. It's based on a lot of experience from many students that I work with, and if you're really serious and it's really important for you, make a commitment to yourself, 5 minutes a day for minimum 30 days. If you really want to be sure that you will master this, commit to 60 days and follow the process that I explained here. It's not very difficult, I think it's pretty straightforward. That's it. Good luck, and 2025 will be your year. See you guys soon.